Today we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Burn, and I have a lot to say. So let's not waste time. Let's get into this video. To start off, I want to talk about the theme of this movie. So this movie uses domestic violence to pretty much lead everything within the movie. I don't think this works, and the reason why I say that is because when we look at Evil Dead and how the movies have played out so far, it tends to revolve around this very carefree, chaotic atmosphere. So, like in the original Evil Dead, we just have a bunch of kids, or maybe not kids, college age people who went to this cabin and they saw the Book of the Dead, and that's how it started. And then Evil Dead, which was released in 2013, pretty much followed that same storyline where, again, you had young people in a cabin who find the book, they read from the book, and that's what unleashes the Kandarian demon. Then in Evil Dead Rise, although it does sometimes talk about like addiction, etc., it is not the main theme of the movie at all. We see kids who are young who find this underground bank, I think it was, and then that's pretty much why it got unleashed. However, in Evil Dead Burn, it's very heavy. The theme is very centered around domestic violence, and domestic violence is a very, very serious issue. I think by incorporating domestic violence, it kind of tries to say that you have to be a bad person in order to be possessed, or in order to be go through these really bad things that happens when you read from the book, which is just not the case. I feel like that should have been left out, but I want to know what you guys think. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment down below. In Evil Dead Rise, in the ending, Jessica kills her friends and she's like smiling, she's like thriving in the chaos. Then we get to Evil Dead Burn and Jessica's asleep. Why was Jessica asleep? I don't know. Jessica's asleep at the bottom of the lake. Thankfully, Will wakes her up and she like comes and she like, kills these two fishermen. This is where it gets a little confusing. So once she does that, Jessica wakes up and she has a mission. Her mission is to get the Price family. So Jessica goes and stands by the side of the road, and it's almost as if she knows that Will drive there. How? I don't know. She goes and stands at the side of the road, and she's just waiting and waiting and waiting, and at night, Will comes and drives at the side of the road, just who she's looking for, and she's able to be like, "We're looking for you." I mean, I don't think she said that in that specific scene, but she latches on to Will because you know how it works with the Deadites. As long as you like touch, slap, extra like bodily fluids, they pretty much get in possession of you. It's like almost like zombies, and so she possesses Will. Now, I want to talk about the funeral scene. So in that scene, Edgar goes and he's like, "I want to see my son for one last time." He gets infected pretty much because you know what happens. Like once you get touched, slapped, spit on, anything, you get possessed. And he doesn't turn immediately, which I think is so confusing and just doesn't follow the same logic as the prior Evil Dead movies. Because in the prior Evil Dead movies, you turn like a zombie. You have 1-2 seconds before you have your last hurrah, but then you're done. In this scene, that doesn't happen. In this scene, Edgar is able to like hold his hand, look up in horror at his son who like woke up from the dead. And not only that, he's able to go into the house, cause a scene, and then they have to take him to the hospital in the car. This is hours that's gone by then. And then finally, when he's in the car, that's when he finally turns. Maybe you can say because the Deadites now have a mission, and the mission is to get the Price family, that's why he was asleep for so long. I don't know. So I thought this scene was very interesting because it's a reference on later in the movie. So in the scene where they're in the car and Joseph and Thayer are trying to get Edgar to the hospital. Okay, so Edgar changes and he's trying to kill Thyra. And Joseph pretty much leaves. He has a chance to kill his father, but he doesn't do it. And so he leaves the car and he watches his father kill her. Then she comes back. And in the movie, there's a scene where she pretty much says to him, "Oh, you won't, hurt your father, but you'll hurt me." I could see this in several different ways. I can see this as how they talk about like domestic violence in a movie, but I can also see this as how this family is family first and anybody else second. And the reason why I say this too is because Susan, for example, there are several instances in the movie where Alice saves Susan, but also there are several instances in the movie where Susan can save Alice, but she doesn't do that. Instead, she opts for saving her family or saving herself. You know what I mean? So the movie definitely has like a heavy emphasis on family first. And then not only that though, the scene where Susan opens the window. I can't. I just feel like when things are going on, how? It's like the scene, for example, in Evil Dead Rise, where she's at the bottom of the staircase and she's like calling to her friend. Her friend is like, "Oh, are you okay?" No, girl, no, she's not okay. Like Alice, for example. I'm sorry. Like Susan, for example. In the scene in the bedroom, oh, God. When her mom is hovering over the bed, I'm leaving. I'm running. I am not going back there and hugging her. And I'm trying to be understanding and saying that Susan has been through a lot. But Susan, no. And not even just that. Then her freaking husband knocks on the window and she opens the window. Aren't you scared? Another thing also is that the Kandarian dagger did exist, but the significance and the importance that it has in Evil Dead Burn was not talked about or indicated or hinted to in the prior movie. So suddenly it being the all end, what actually stops everything doesn't add up. Okay, so this is just something I want to add, and this is a reference to this game, Dying Light. I'm not sure if you guys have ever played Dying Light. I have played Dying Light, but it's been a while since I played it. I think it's been since 2022. It's like been a long time. But when I played Dying Light, in Dying Light there was something called volatiles, and they would like these were like the fast zombies, and they would chase after you like crazy. Like I think from what I remember in Dying Light, certain like zombies couldn't do certain things, but the volatiles could do everything. So there's a scene where Alice gets the Kandarian dagger and she hops out of the window in the attic and slides down the roof, and then she's like trying to run away. And then we see Susan and Edgar bust through the window, come down the window, the roof, and is chasing after her. But it's the way that that scene looked, literally looked like they were volatiles chasing after her. If you don't know what they are, search them up on YouTube. You literally see like a very, very, very great representation of them and how they like move. And I'm not talking about how they look. I'm talking about their body movements and their gestures. It was very similar to how the volatiles in Dying Light moves. Okay, so this is it for this video. Please comment down below. Let's talk about this movie. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of opinions about it, and I definitely want to hear it. I want to have a discussion. Let me know what you think. I will not be posting a video in the next 2 weeks because I'm going to be away, but stay tuned for my next video. If you have like any movies that you want me to watch and you want my opinion about it, please just comment down below. I'm more than happy to watch it. I love watching movies. But yeah, stay tuned for my next video, and I will see you guys next time.